Okay, hello and what's up, everyone at Banc of California Stadium, and a special hello to those in the chat on YouTube. This is the 110 football tailgate. We're taking you up to kickoff between LAFC and the Seattle Sounders.
Yes.
And I've got a great crew here with me today. I'm just gonna go from my right to left. We're not fooling around because we've got a lot to jam into the show because it's a big show. So, Philly, Defenders of the Banc, how are you?
Happy Good Friday at the Cathedral of the Black and Gold. We're all men of LAFC cloth. It's going to be a match of biblical proportions.
Max Bretos, voice
Can't
of
top
LAFC,
that.
and the laugh of LAFC
I
now.
cannot top that, but I brought some lighter tones here. I went with the gold top because everyone else has got the black down.
Smart.
Yeah.
Always
Smart.
looking good, Matt.
And JR the scarf, of course.
Heyo, good to be here. Can't wait. We're back at the bank after what, 3 weeks?
I know, it
been a
feels
minute.
like
Beautiful
forever.
to be back here at Banc of California Stadium.
We got to hang on to these home games. There's a lot more road games, so enjoy this.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, we want you to get involved in the chat room. Drop a comment, drop a question. We will answer as many as we can so that you can be part of the show. And let's be honest, there's no shortage of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes. Please get busy in that chat. We are taking you up to kickoff. It is a big match. And so we want to hear directly from the captain about how big it is and what playing against Seattle here at home means. So here's Carlos Vela out at training talking before this match.
Seattle is a big team in this league. They win the CONCACAF champion, so for us it's a big test because if you want to win the championship, you have to beat the best teams in the league. So it's a good game for us, a big game for us. More playing at home with all the spectators we have, all the good line we are doing. So I think the team is ready for this kind of game. So we are excited. We will work really hard to get the 3 points. And for us, every single game is important because we want to win the supportership. We want to win the MLS Cup. So we have to focus on do our job and play as best as we can and get points.
I think it's fair to say that the captain is telling us that this game means more than 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said every game's important, but let's be honest, this carries a little bit more weight.
Yeah, look, we've had more down games than up with Seattle, right? This is a team that's knocked us out of the playoffs now several times, ruined the historic season that we put together in 2019. We don't like them. We consider them a huge rival. I'm not sure they do us, but we consider them a huge rival.
Who cares what they think?
It doesn't matter what
not
they
their
think.
show.
You know, it's funny. Like, if I can harness my inner Marty McFly and hop in my DeLorean, I feel like we're back in 2018 because Carlos Vela is looking trim, he is looking fit, and he's looking good. When he goes out on a limb and says, hey, Seattle's among the best teams, we got to beat the best. No, they are the 8th best team in the Western Conference. And if you really want to break things down, since this club won CONCACAF Champions League, they have played 15 matches. They've only won 6 games.
Yeah.
This is not the Seattle of past.
This is still a big rivalry. I think it's right now, today, end of July 2022. It's moved ahead of the Timbers because of what you mentioned. The biggest game that LAFC ever played in, it was the Sounders who knocked them out in this building in 2019. They carrying the CONCACAF Champions League. It is so many times we saw it in Nashville and Sporting Kansas City. LAFC have the target on their back. Well, Seattle has a target on their back. That's got to be a good feeling. Easy for LAFC to get up. They need games like that. And one last thing, Rob mentioned, let's get Vela back on the score sheet. Doesn't it feel like he's kind of been in the background with the arrival of the 2 new signings, and it makes him a little more dangerous in my books?
It does, and I think he likes it that way. But look, he's been involved. He just hasn't been put the final touch to put it in the back of the net. I'm fine with that as
Still
long
very
as he's involved.
Yes.
I mean, he's been collecting those hockey assists at the end of the day. I think I said it a couple of shows ago that when the season matures, Carlos Vela will lead this league in assists because he has so many weapons at his disposal.
I like how he says the season matures like it's a bottle of wine.
Aging like a fine wine.
Did anyone notice, and I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, that when I said Carlos Vela putting the ball in the back of the net, I actually used my left foot?
You did.
I'm not left-footed. I was smart. See?
You were channeling your inner
Cerebral.
Carlos Vela.
I'm a cerebral.
Vince the cerebral assassin.
Yes.
Look,
It would have lost its appeal if you used your right foot.
It would have. It wouldn't have counted.
Well, we absolutely know that Carlos Vela is going to be in that starting 11 tonight, but let's take a look at who the 11 is going to be for LAFC taking on the Sounders. The match getting started in just a little bit. We got Maxime Crepeau, of course, in the back of the net, or excuse me, in front of the back of the net anyway.
Yeah, please don't.
Right? Yeah, no. We got Franco Escobar, Jesus David Murillo. We got Chiellini starting, and that just makes me smile every single time. And Cheeky Palacios, I think we have the best wingbacks in the league. Latif back in the starting 11. Of course, no Kellen Acosta for yellow card accumulation. Ilie Sanchez, Jose Cifuentes, Mahala, Chicho, and Carlitos on the front line. Man, does that look good. And the weapons we have in the 18.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun one. This has all the makings of some MLS After Dark.
That's what pops off the screen for me is for a team. That's right.
Let's go.
Gotta get in the stadium. The bench, which is a big story because what it's 13 substitutes have scored a goal for LAFC. The most recent was Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale's on the bench. Brian Rodriguez is back on the bench. Ryan Hollingshead, Eddie Segura. I think they get 5 subs again. I think Seb Mendes is the 5th who gets it in there because they're going to squeeze their opponent, which they did the last 2 games. And that's very exciting. And the flip side, if the starting 11 plays well, LAFC, when they score first, 11 out of 11 in results, winning every game.
I think that will be important. You got to take the game to them. And it is interesting that you point out that bench, and it will belabor the point even more. Everyone looks at that bench and says, hey, these guys could be starting for a lot of teams. However, that starting 11 seems to be continuously rolled out. Steve's getting some continuity between those guys. And as of right now, in terms of fitness and form, that is pretty much the best starting 11 he could put out on the pitch.
Yeah.
But then he still has Gareth Bale on the bench.
He still has. And I was pretty sure, and when I saw the 11, maybe Gareth Bale started. I don't think he was going to start today. I don't think he starts next week at altitude against Real Salt Lake. After that, it's time. But in the meantime, you get to use him as a ridiculously super sub. You could see the managers on the other side when Bale walks in, their heads drop because what can you do?
I mean, between Gareth Bale, between Brian Rodriguez, between this unbelievable, treasure trove of jewels that we have on our bench. I mean, we really are among the deadliest teams in Major League Soccer. I would have thought that we would have been given the privilege of seeing Gareth Bale start in his first game at Banc of California Stadium. But at the very least, if we could keep our fingers crossed, it would be pretty epic witnessing his second goal scored ever in his MLS career.
We're talking a lot about Gareth Bale. Let's not gloss over it. Giorgio Chiellini is making his home debut in a new scarf. You, like me, are very excited for that.
Look, I'm an Italian national team guy myself. I have been known to be a fan of defenders of the Banc here. And so, I mean, could you have a better marriage than Giorgio Chiellini in black and gold? And don't sleep on the fact that Giorgio had an incredible quote, too. He said, we have 5 center backs, and every single one of them are better than the next. He sees the talent there, but he's also now starting to teach these guys. We talk about it week in and week out, the Chiellini effect on our back line and on our defense. Let's not get lost on the fact that we have great top 3. We have our great scorers, but our back line is among the best in all of Major League Soccer as well.
Bale will absolutely score tonight, LAFC. We'll talk about that in a little bit because I think that is a very good possibility. And speaking of Italians, I saw Massimo Allegri in there. A lot of Juventus players in the building. High-profile Juventus. It's a real event inside the building.
They can't have Chiellini back.
So upset that you hung out with the head coach of my favorite team of all time, Juventus. You did not call me, not text. You just slyly said, I was talking to Allegri in there. Oh, thanks, Max.
It was a high five and a smile and a pat on the back. That was the extent of it.
I would have cried, okay?
He's going to cry once the camera goes off, ladies and gentlemen.
I am going to cry, but for a different reason. But we keep talking about him. He is a big talking point, Gareth Bale. And I actually had a chance to sit down with Steve Cherundolo, as I do every week, for In Touch with Steve Cherundolo. Of course, we talked about Gareth Bale's first goal. And, Steve and I tried to pronounce some Welsh words, and I'm sorry, Wales. Let's start with the man, Gareth Bale. He scores his first goal. Give me kind of the 2 sides of it. For your team, what it means, and kind of, I think for all of MLS, it signals something.
I'm not sure about all of MLS, but I can speak on our behalf. But of course, it's a great story when he comes here and scores in his second game. He's still trying to get back to his normal fitness level. He's going through preseason, the middle of our season, so there's that challenge. But to get on the scoring board right away, to contribute to a victory is very important for any attacker who joins the squad, and especially one of his stature and somebody with his media presence. And my comment to him after the game was, first, congratulations. You should have scored a second. And
you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong, and he knows that as well. So we've gotten off to a great start. It's a healthy relationship already between him and the group and the coaching staff, and we're looking to add more.
1v1 into the area. Gareth Bale on his left foot shot. Goal! Oh, sweet mercy. What a goal from Gareth Bale. It's 2-0.
Now we are going to do something interesting. It's going to be in honor of Gareth Bale scoring his first goal. Steve and I are going to attempt to speak Welsh. Betas. Let's say that the W
I would
is
have
like an
said
A.
Betwis.
Betus.
Betus, yeah. I was close.
Wait.
So point for me?
Yeah, point for you. It's looking like you knew. A chapel or house of worship, so a church.
That makes sense. I would say it's more of like a U, so it's a
Munud?
Munyud. Munit.
Munit. And
Munit.
it means mountain.
That's a tough one. Luber Coitus. And that's going to be like, I don't know, something like choir, library, choir. I don't know how this will come together.
Public footpath. And the correct way to say it would be Berkahoithus.
Yeah. Berkutois. That makes a whole lot of nonsense. That was a really tough one.
Yeah.
But that was a great way to end it. I apologize as well. But
Yeah.
we did our best.
All right, if you guys are laughing at home, that's fair. My pronunciations were pretty bad, but do you guys think I'll ever be allowed in Wales?
There were no vowels. What were you supposed to do?
Exactly, that was the point.
Himru and Bith.
What does that mean?
Himru. Wales forever.
Is that
Is
really?
it?
Is that?
No, the word for Wales is Cymru.
But I pronounced it Kimru, but Cymru is what I meant.
Okay,
Cymru and
that's
Bith.
the only one I know.
That's. Look. I teach language for a living.
You may have upset the Welsh.
I don't know how that happens.
A little bit.
Yeah, I got nothing on any of this.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to check out the rest of that, it is on LAFC's YouTube channel. And you know what? There has been a few comments from people in Wales saying thank you for putting a spotlight on our country. So there's at least that. I don't know if they got to the part where I tried to pronounce the words.
What is it? Public footpath.
I know.
You know,
what
like
is
that,
that?
Like
Public-
sidewalk?
It's like a Fußgänger zone.
Yeah.
Like a.
A walkway.
I don't want to go on a Fußgänger zone or a.
It's just a sidewalk.
Okay,
man.
all right. Call it that. Call it that.
All right, guys. You like prizes? I know you like prizes.
Love prizes.
Every week, or not every week, when we're here at home at Banc, we do players to watch. It's your chance to win some prizes. Basically, what you have to do, and it's very easy. You select one player from LAFC, one player from Seattle. You just got to get it to us on social media before kickoff. And this week, you have a chance to win an LAFC 110 football prize pack. It's a hat, it's a shirt, it's one of those string bags. I think someone told me what those are called, and I forgot already.
Oh, drawstring
but
bags, right?
It's a good little prize pack. And we've got some people in there with we've got a lot of entries already.
There it
However,
is.
you're not here. There's the
Nice
prize pack.
package. Yeah.
Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. You're not so much playing against everyone that's putting in their team players from the outside. You're playing against us, the four of us, the
That's right.
experts per se. So we're gonna go down the line, and I believe Philly is up first. And so basically you got to beat us, and then you got to come back and on Monday watch LAFC 360 at 1 p.m. and we will announce the winners. But you got to get through the four of us.
Got to go through us.
Four horsemen here, as we
Wait, who's Ric Flair? Who's Arn Anderson?
Is it the Apollo?
I got to tell.
I'm Tully.
Oh, Tully Blanchard.
You're
Gotta love
Ric
it.
Flair. We know that.
Woo! Be the man. He's actually competing this weekend, believe it or not.
How?
73
It's his
years
last
old.
match.
He's
Yeah.
fighting
Last match.
with his son-in-law
Like
versus
his last
Double
match?
J.
Wait, are we
Yes.
saying it's going to be his last match because we're
Ever.
not sure he's going to make it out?
Right.
or-
I mean, I don't know what state would have applied that commission. Anyway, moving right along.
yeah, why don't you go ahead and give us your players to watch?
Players to watch.
And one of them cannot be Ric Flair.
No, one of them is not Ric Flair. I will tell you, great minds do think alike, and I am so glad that I am going first because it's going to sound like a broken record.
Uh-oh.
The player to watch on Seattle. No, it is not the Peruvian pistolier, that of Raul Ruidiaz, because he is not playing today. He hurt one hamstring, came into a game, hurt the other hamstring. He's not here. But the next danger player on Seattle, you got to tip your hat off to Jordan Morris. This is a guy who went over to, you want to talk about Wales? He went over to Swansea, hurt himself, tore his ACL.
I don't want to talk about Wales.
We don't want to talk about Wales, but he's a guy who's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to let everybody know that he is the player that he deserves to be, and he is the leading scorer on the Seattle Sounders. If you want to silence the Sounders, you're going to need to silence Jordan Morris. And as far as LAFC is concerned, you'd have to be a schmuck to not go with one Chicho Arango. See, it's becoming a number one song.
You even got Max do it, and he was
Right?
such a hater.
I love it. So this is the guy who scored in 3 straight games, 7 out of 8. Chicho Arango, our leading scorer, and my choice for the MLS Golden Boot leader at the end of the day. Those are my players to watch. You want to pick the smart money? Go with Philly.
No. You need to beat
Give
Philly.
me the Greek, everybody.
You need to beat Philly. Don't pick Philly's picks. You got to beat Philly.
Gotta
That's
beat-
a
Yeah,
reminder.
all right, fair.
All right, Max Bretos, you're up.
By the way, LAFC o'clock. I am on the big screen with my keys. You know what my first key was?
What?
Score first.
Yep.
It's not a
It's
bad
very
idea.
basic.
I like it.
With the way it's
I
going.
mean, but it is.
Wait for props that may come up.
So that it is. I will also repeat Philly sentiments and go with Jordan Morris. It's hard to resist. He's scoring goals. He had a cracking game last week. Had a goal, I think an assist. Was also almost scored a second goal. He has been very, very good. Jordan Morris is also battling to make sure he's on that national team. What makes him dangerous is that they'll have Will Bruin. They would normally have Raul Ruidiaz. When they get the crosses up as a second forward coming up, and that's where LAFC have to be mindful because that's the guy who will be able to find that space and maybe get an odd man advantage in the attacking third. And I'm going with Gareth Bale because I think this is a game that could go into the second half. And Gareth Bale looks so sharp. He said it afterwards. I'm glad I got that goal out of the way so I could focus and be on the team. You also can score more goals now. But this is what LAFC want to do. Take Seattle into the deep end of the pool, get them tired, and bang them out with all those subs, including Gareth Bale and all his technical ability.
Look, anytime I agree with the soccer OG, you know it's a good day. I am absolutely going with Jordan Morris and Gareth Bale because, look, I pick what I want to see happen. U.S. men's national team is better when Jordan Morris is on his A game, and I want, like the millions out there, to see Gareth Bale score goals. So, look, Jordan Morris, Gareth Bale, you're up. And if you want to win this week, pick somebody other than Jordan Morris.
Because I have also picked Jordan Morris for the Seattle Sounders for all these reasons these guys said. You know, but as I'm hearing us all pick Jordan Morris, is he the only danger guy for Seattle? Is this going to be a breeze? I don't know.
That
right?
midfield, I mean, when you look at Lodeiro and Rusnak,
Yeah.
those guys that's a good engine room right there.
Right. But we all have Jordan Morris for a lot of the same reasons. And for me, it's just he knows that system so well. Watch him in this game. Watch him like kind of look for turnovers, not his own turnovers, but he looks for teammates to be turning over LAFC players and then will immediately hit a dead sprint and they'll just hit a blind ball to him. That's how he scores a lot of his goals. He gets in that space and we know LAFC likes to play that high line. For LAFC though, I have Sifu, Jose Cifuentes. He's, as the English would say, unplayable, which means you have to play him all the time. He's been that good, and I just think he's so key to the game. And the scoring rules that we use MLS fantasy rules. It's more than just goals and assists, and I think he's just so active. But he does also give you goals and assists. So Sifu and Jordan Morris. So as Scarf said, if you want to win, you should probably maybe pick someone other than Jordan Morris because it might give you a better chance. You might not believe it, but
hedge your bets.
Yeah, or hedge your bets. It might give you a better chance. And by the way, to win, the winner will take home that 110 football prize pack. The only way you can know if you've won is by joining us on LAFC 360. That is at 1 p.m. And if there's a tie, we like to do fun like drawings. Maybe we'll do an arm wrestling. I don't know who's on the show, but I will take all comers in arm wrestling.
I shall not arm wrestle.
All right, I'll take either of you.
All right.
Arm wrestling.
I like
You
it.
good at arm wrestling?
I don't know. I've seen Over the Top.
Remember the theme song?
That's all I know. So remember, try to get us one player from each. You still got some time before kickoff. 110 football prize pack. And then back here Monday, LAFC 360, 1 p.m. to know if you won. And now I'm going to pass it off to our resident degenerate gambler, Scarf. He's going to take us through one of our favorite segments on this show on the tailgate. It's the prop bets. Scarf, tell them what prop bets are.
Look, what we love about prop bets is they force you to choose one side of the action or the other. Will this happen? Will it not? Will we over this total, under this total? And you get to play along with us at home. You can win some mythical money as well. So we're going to go through 4 different prop bets that we think could happen. The first one of those, nice and simple. Which team do you think is going to score first? You heard it from Max Bretos himself. It's his first key to the match that LAFC has to score first. That's actually what I think will happen. LAFC is absolutely going to score first tonight. Max, you said it's a key to the match. Will they indeed be scoring first tonight?
I think they've been really buzzing to do that, and they've been able to, certainly in the last 2 games. I just think it might happen a little earlier, and LAFC could really put Seattle behind the cosh. And Seattle, as they have struggled, even though they're coming off a victory, they could get a little rattled here. But LAFC, you heard it from Steve Cherundolo, he wants to play a full 90 minutes. He wants to see the team do it. Everything else has fallen into place. My guess is that falls into place here tonight.
Philly, you kind of vacillate every now and then between LAFC scoring first or the opponents. Who you got?
There you go.
That's
we got
my call, too. I got that, too.
I like it.
Philly, what do you got? First team score.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I normally would pick the opposing team to score because LAFC is the best second-half team in Major League Soccer. But back to Max's point, we are undefeated when we score first. I think today is going to be a statement game. Seattle, at the end of the day, is the 8th best team in the Western Conference. No Rui Diaz. And the one shocking situation for me is Albert Rusnak. What could have been the steal signing of the season, he only has 1 goal, albeit it was against LAFC. But throwing that aside, we're going to score the first goal of the game, and we're going to extend that winning streak to 12-0-0. Let's go, black and gold.
Vince, is it a clean sweep?
It is. I chose LAFC too, and for one of the reasons that Max pointed out, Steve Cherundolo has to be hammering his team all this week and saying, guys, 2 straight games you won, but you can't keep leaving the first half on the table. I need you guys fired up, and we're back at home in front of our supporters for the first time in almost a month, so I just feel like he's got them revved up for that fast
Yeah, absolutely. All right, our next prop bet, over under 6.5 saves. We know you can't get a half save, so you got to pick. Is it going to be 6 or fewer or 7 or more? Max, how many saves, or not how many saves, but are we going over or under tonight?
Last time I did the show with you, we had this as one of our bets, and because of the infrequent shots that Maxime Crépeau faces, and LAFC, although they can pepper the goal, haven't really done it. I tend to think that I would always take this under here. 6.5 is a good, healthy number. Maxime Crépeau, I think, is averaging around 2 saves, 2.5 saves over the last few games. So it's to me, that's something that's going to stay down here, especially from the LAFC defensive perspective. And then we'll see Seattle's, they're going to be able to play well defensively. I think there's going to be an economy of shots.
Vince, what do you got?
I'm going over only because I think that Maxime Crépeau will not face a lot of shots, but I just feel like LAFC is going to be buzzing a little bit.
That's where it would happen.
Really try to pepper that goal.
Yeah, Philly?
I'm going to say that we're going to be over because Stephen Fry is going to have at least 5 saves within his own right, but he's going to allow 3 goals to go in the back of the net.
Oh, that's 8 shots on target,
I like
baby.
that. Look, I completely agree with everybody here except for Max. I think that we're going over.
That did sound terrible.
I think it's going to be a game where we pepper Stephen Fry as well. So that's a big one. The anytime goal score. This is one of my favorites. This is nice and easy. You pick a player that you think will score anytime. So, look, one of my players to watch is Gareth Bale. I'm picking Gareth Bale. Easy. That's how I win.
When you've scored, 6 goals in 7 games, good chance you might be able to score anytime, any game. So I'm going with Chicho Arango. It's just a smart bet. And he's starting.
Billy, you sang the song.
Yes, one would venture that I'd probably say that, but I'm going to go with J-Mo. And I don't mean Irish whiskey, I mean Jordan Morris.
Okay.
I have Chicho as well, and it's actually 7 and 8 now. And like Max
7 and
said,
8,
wow, that's where you should be putting the money.
Smart money.
All right, under or over 3.5 offsides in the match today. Vince, over or under 3.5 offsides?
This is such a random bet, and it's
Right?
like so not fun. But I mean, I guess maybe it means attacking football. I went over. Let's maybe get 2 from each.
Exactly. That's why I'm going over as well. I want to see attacking football. Philly?
For his reasons, over, enough said.
Over? Yeah.
I love it.
Keep it.
Yeah.
I love it. So,
Got to keep the referees' assistants busy, no?
Yeah, they get paid too much.
They didn't get, as Brendan Gleeson said in Braveheart, we didn't get dressed up for nothing.
look, what we like to do with all those prop bets is roll them into what we call a parlay. You got to pick 2 of those props and add the score line for the match. You put those 3 things together. That's our parlay. And Philly, you are up first with your parlay for the match.
All right, I'm going to move it right along because I'm dying to get in the bank as much as y'all are dying to get into the bank. I'm going to say we are over 6.5 in terms of the saves. I am going to say that Jordan Morris is the first goal scorer, and I'm going to say that LAFC is going to open up a can of shebang bang on the Sounders 3-1.
I like it. Vince, how do you feel about your parlay?
I feel good. I took that anytime goal scorer Chicho Arango because all the man does is score goals.
Yeah.
Almost literally.
Yeah.
I took offside because it's just a fun one. So over on the offsides. And then my score is 3-1 LAFC, which we've been hearing a lot of around here.
Yeah, I like that. Max, your
A few
parlay.
people, by the way, are asking what time the game kicks off. It was 8:15, right?
8:15.
8:15. So settle in here. We'll get you over there. You won't miss it. I saw that the truck racing's going long on FS1, but we'll fix it all. True
That's
story.
true. That's true.
True story. Forgive me if this sounds and rings familiar, but I'm going to go with, what am I going to go with? LAFC scoring first. I'm going to go with the under on 6.5 saves, and I'm also going with LAFC winning this game 3-1.
3-1, but under 6.5 saves. I like it. That's That's good value bet is what they like to say. I'm gonna say LAFC is scoring first as well, and I like to bet what I think is gonna happen. So not only does LAFC score first, we're gonna have over on the saves. We're gonna be peppering some keepers in a 2-1 matchup, 2-1 match scoreline.
Tight contest.
Yeah. Tight one.
Contest. I just want to say real quick in the chat, shout out to Landon, man, not because you want LAFC to lose, but you're an Austin fan and you're watching another team's pregame show.
I like
it's
it.
an independent pregame show. So shout out to you in August 26th against Austin. That is going to be a huge match. We look forward
That is progress.
to that.
We want Austin to do well, but just not better than
Not against
LAFC.
us, yes.
Yeah. Do well up until the 26th. All right. We are really getting close to kickoff, so that means it's time to give our final instructions to the team. This is what Steve would be telling them right before they go out, but it's coming from us. And we like to call it shoot your shot. So these are our final instructions to the team. It's the thing that you want them to take out there straight onto the pitch.
Right.
And Philly, you are up first. You have the honors.
So these guys need to go in there confidence up high. Obviously, we are the best in the West and best in MLS, and we are not losing that mantle today. We need to get over the Seattle mystique, okay? We've had some unbelievable seasons, but Seattle has thwarted a lot of our efforts in the postseason. But we do have success. We were finally able to secure a point away at Lumen Field. That is a big thing. They're without some of their biggest weapons, but it doesn't matter. The Seattle mystique, no more. Tonight, we silenced the Sounders. Positive thinking, that's going to propel us through the laws of attraction, baby, LAFC.
Bretos?
I think the mystique's off a little bit for Seattle. I'm really buoyed by what happened in the first meeting when LAFC was shorthanded. Remember, Danny Trejo came in, Chicho scoring the goal, LAFC getting a point away. But this is still a very challenging opponent. They are savvy, they have a style, and it's brought them success from the first game that they ever played. Sounders are one of the gold standard clubs here in Major League Soccer. Good wing play. So I think Steve Cherundolo is going to be saying, I'm going to read what I said, protect the space behind your back line. But I am confident LAFC can do that with the starting four they have, with Giorgio Chiellini in there, with Jesus Murillo, who has not put a foot out of place, and then with Eddie Segura being able to come in, which I'm sure we're going to see him. I think they'll protect that space, and Seattle will not have a lot of chances. Means good news for LAFC.
Scarf, it's up to you.
Look, I'm going to take a page from Vince's playbook. The percentage of possession doesn't matter at all. But when you have the ball, value the ball. I think we've turned the ball over far too much lately in the attacking third of the pitch. So LAFC, look, Seattle has won the possession battle the last 4 matches they've played. It doesn't matter. When you have the ball, value the ball. String passes together, find your front three, work through all 3 lines, and be smart when we have it. Value possession. Don't focus on the number. Focus on the quality over the quantity.
And my shot is going to be all about getting that fast start. Take the game to them early. Find out which way the game goes out. It doesn't need to be a possession game. Maybe it's a countering game, but I think we can all agree LAFC's possession play in the first halves have been a little bit lackluster. They don't have the patience, and they're not kind of finding the right angle. So read the game early. Take the game to them early. Find the ways that you can hurt them. You don't have to score a goal, but just get in that rhythm early. We want to see a first half where you actually use the ball and do things with it, not just trying to get 0-0 into half. Although, if you get 0-0 at half,
That's a good sign.
It seems like it's a good sign. But I think that Steve is going to impress this upon them because it's going to be important in other games down the road, especially come playoffs. You can't rely on that second half all the time.
Get into good habits. By the way, we have Harry from Seattle, too.
I know
we are throwing a wide net tonight.
I like it.
I enjoy that. Well, Harry, I know that we are a 110 football and we are an LAFC show, but we have a lot of other things that go on. So let me tell you what goes on next week. We have LAFC 360 on Monday at 1 p.m. That's where we'll break down this game. So maybe you want to hear about how we played against your Sounders. And then following that is Angels Wear Boots, where they'll talk about Angel City FC and their game, following us on Saturday back here at the Banc. So big weekend at the Banc, and we'll have it all for you on 110 Football's YouTube channel on Monday.
Yeah, but look, if you are hungry for that LAFC action right now, we don't know if it's on FS2 right now because of truck races or not, but
we get a checkered flag.
Fox Sports 1, Fox Deportes, and ESPN Radio right after this. So get on it, Black and Gold fans. We are all set and ready to go.
And folks, at the conclusion of this match, get your rears back here because we were going to be back with comments. Hopefully, we're going to be out there celebrating or commiserating. We are your post-game LAFC show. Obviously, we all want to celebrate here, but make sure you come back to 110's YouTube channel and listen to us chat and give our reactions post-game.
And the race just ended.
The race
Checker flag. Bam, bam, bam.
That means we got to get out of here.
Joe Yarbrough takes the checkered flag at Talladega.
The soundtrack
Stock
of
car
Los
racing,
Angeles is being
yeah.
played behind us by the 3252, so that means kickoff is right around the corner. We will see you guys back here for the Instant Reaction postgame. Bye-bye.